All right, Harris, she's about to do her speech, her concession speech. How many times do you think they're going to cut to someone crying in the audience?
That's a
How many
game.
tears are we about to see?
So let me say.
So I'm looking forward to she going to bring the country together. Is she going to say anything positive about this dude? Is she going to say anything about, like, we need to get behind, you know?
Yeah. Let's see.
My heart is full today. My heart is full today, full of gratitude for the trust you have placed in me, full of love for our country, and full of resolve. The outcome of this election is not what we wanted, not what we fought for, not what we voted for, but hear me when I say, the light of America's promise will always burn bright.
Still don't know what that means. You gotta stop speaking in metaphor.
Oh, that's
As
one.
long
One.
As
One.
we never
How many
give
criers
up,
are we going to get?
and as
Someone said
long
6.
as we keep fighting.
Fighting.
Is this starting to sound like a
2.
2? Wow, Ruslan.
To my beloved Doug and our family, I love you so very much.
Shout out to Doug.
I love you, Dougie. That's Dougie right
To
there.
President Biden and Dr. Biden, thank you for your faith and support.
Biden there? Biden on the beach,
To
dog.
Governor Walz and the Walz family, I know your service to our nation will continue.
Hopefully not.
She crying?
Hopefully not.
Yeah, hopefully not.
And to my extraordinary team, to the volunteers who gave so much of themselves, to the poll workers and the local election officials, I thank you. I thank you
Is she going to
all.
congratulate Trump? That's what I want
Look,
to say.
I am so proud of the race we ran and the way we ran it. And the way we ran it. Over the 107 days of this campaign, we have been intentional about building community and building coalitions.
Okay.
Bringing people together from every walk of life
Okay.
and background, united by love of country with enthusiasm and joy in our fight for America's future.
Hold on, man. Hold on. They gave it a ChatGPT
They did.
speech.
They did.
Right? Charitable concession.
Charitable concession.
This thing is just, come on now. Go ahead.
Positive and hopeful. Make
Okay.
it sound human.
Okay, apparently she did give a call to Trump this morning and congratulate him.
Okay.
So that's good.
And we did it with the knowledge that we all have so much more in common than what separates us.
Okay.
Okay, I like it.
Unity.
Amen.
Now, I know folks are feeling and experiencing a range of emotions right now.
You kind of made him feel
I
that
get
way.
it.
Yeah. Yep. Thanks to you and Biden.
But
and
we
all.
must accept the
Sky's
results
falling.
of this election. Earlier today, I spoke with President-elect Trump and congratulated him on his victory. I also told him
She admitted it.
that we will help him and
She admitted it
They're
and got
booing
booed.
her.
Well, yeah, because he's Mustache Man.
He's Mustache Man.
She's like, yeah, I called
You
Mustache
called,
Man.
you said he was the Mustache Man.
Yeah.
You called the fascist. You said that it was over. The democracy is over, but you called him so you mean he's not the Mustache Man?
You congratulated the man who's going to ruin democracy and use the military as his own personal puppets?
And he's going to put his enemies in front of the firing squad?
Wow.
You called him.
his
And you're
team
going to
with
work, pull it back. He says he's going to work with him.
I spoke to accept the results of this election. Earlier today, I spoke with President-elect Trump and congratulated him on his victory.
They're booing him.
I also told him that we will help him and his team with their transition,
It's the first time she heard a boo since that Tulsi Gabbard takedown.
and that we will engage in a peaceful transfer of power.
All right.
Okay.
A fundamental principle of American democracy is that when we lose an election, we accept the results.
All right.
That principle, as much as any other, distinguishes democracy from monarchy
I like
or
it.
tyranny.
Amen.
And anyone who seeks the public trust must honor it.
I like
At
it.
the same time,
Uh-oh.
in our nation,
Uh-oh.
we owe loyalty not to a president or a party, but to the Constitution of the United States.
Okay.
Okay. That's what we've been saying for 4 years.
That's what we've been saying. That's kind of our shtick.
And loyalty
that's four-
to
four.
our
That's three.
conscience and to our God. My allegiance to all three
Why it grew.
is why I am here to say, while I concede this election, I do not concede the fight that fueled this campaign.
Okay.
You might want to concede both.
The fight,
It didn't work.
the fight for freedom, for opportunity, for fairness, and the dignity of all people. A fight for the ideals at the heart of our nation, the ideals that reflect America at our best. That is a fight I will never give up.
I think it's over. Oh, 6, 7.
I will
Wow,
never
that's a lot.
give up the fight for a future where Americans can pursue their dreams, ambitions, and aspirations, where the women of America have the freedom to make decisions about their own body and not have their government telling them what to do. We will never give up the fight to protect our schools and our streets from gun violence.
Never give up.
And America, we will never give up the fight for our democracy, for the rule of law, for equal justice, and for the sacred idea that every one of us, no matter who we are or where we start out, has certain fundamental rights and freedoms that must be respected and upheld. And we will continue to wage this fight in the voting booth, in the courts, and in the public square. And we will also wage it in quieter ways, in how we live our lives, by treating one another
She's like,
with kindness
preach
and
preach the leftist gospel, not with your words, but in your actions.
respect, by looking in the face of a stranger and seeing a neighbor,
Amen. I like
by
that part.
always using
That's what I said.
our strength to lift people up, to fight for the dignity that all people deserve. The fight for our freedom will take hard work, but like I always say, we like hard work. Hard work is good work.
Yeah.
Hard work can be joyful work. And the fight for our country is always worth it.
Let her have it.
It is
It's her last
always
speech.
worth it.
Someone said, here comes the access.
To the young people who are watching,
Low key, right?
it is. I love
Oh, man.
Oh, there's a couple right there.
More. That's at least
you. To
10.
the
Look
young
at that.
people
Look at
who
that.
are watching, it is okay to feel sad and disappointed. But please know it's going to be okay.
It's going to be okay.
On the campaign, I would often say, when we fight, we win. But here's the thing. Sometimes the fight takes a while.
On the campaign trail, I said that if Trump gets elected, it's the end of democracy. So good luck. Imagine if she just left
That
with that.
doesn't mean we won't win. That doesn't mean we won't win.
You got
The important thing
That's
is don't ever give up. Don't ever give up. Don't ever stop trying to make the world a better place. You have power. You have power. And don't you ever listen
6th grade
when
graduation.
anyone tells you something is impossible because it has never been done before.
Oh, I mean, we're at like what? Double digits now? 10?
Yeah.
You
definitely
have
double
the
digits.
capacity to do extraordinary good in the world. And so to everyone,
And I grew up in a middle class house.
and I'm glad you brought that up, or I brought that up. But I grew up in a middle.
who is
Right, she's doing
watching,
so good. She's doing good. Yeah,
do
I don't
not
wanna roast.
despair.
Yes.
This is not a time to throw up our hands. This is a time to roll up our sleeves.
And listen to some Cardi B.
What does that mean?
This is a time to organize, to mobilize, and to stay engaged
And to criminalize.
for the sake of freedom and justice and the future that we all know we can build together. Look,
Yeah.
many of you know I started out as a prosecutor, and throughout my
I
career,
really thought she was going for the middle class.
people at some of the worst times in their lives. People who had suffered great harm
I'm so glad you brought that
and
up.
great pain, and yet found within themselves the strength and the courage and the resolve to take the stand, to take a stand, to fight for justice, to fight for themselves, to fight for others.
It's a good speech.
So let their courage be
They-
our inspiration.
All political speeches can be cut
Let
in
their
half.
determination be our charge. And I'll close with this. There's an adage an historian once called a law of history, true of every society across the ages. The adage is, only when it is dark enough can you see the stars.
Come on.
I know many people feel like we are entering a dark time, but for the benefit of us all, I hope that is not the case.
You get to be the stars.
But here's the thing, America, if it is, let us fill the sky with the light of a brilliant, brilliant billion of stars. The light of optimism, of faith, of truth, and service.
Clap.
A Jew,
Did you say a Jew? Oh.
and may that work guide us, even in the face of setbacks, toward the extraordinary promise of the United States of America. I thank you all. May God bless you, and may God bless the United States of America. I thank you.
That's a good speech. That's probably her best speech.
Yeah.
If we're gonna be totally objective, that's probably her best speech. Let that rock for a second. Turn it down. It's probably her best speech. Let's see. Here's the thing that I think people miss.
Dougie.
Is
Sex symbol right there. I'm kidding.
they call it sex symbol.
Yeah.
Here's the thing that people miss. Everything she said,
Yeah.
the whole country wants.
Yeah.
We want justice.
That's what you do during-
We want
during concession
freedom.
speech.
We want all these things. Now, props to her for giving a concession speech. Trump didn't give a concession speech last time.
Ooh, that's dirty.
So she gave a concession speech. So props to her.
That's salty.
Right? So, and she pointed out. Now, the thing is, turn that down. That's Beyonce.
Yeah.
We gotta mute that, please.
They said,
The thing is, what do those words mean? Justice, opportunity, dignity. We believe in those same things. We all want justice, opportunity, dignity. We all want people to have dignity, even people I disagree with. So what will serve you well is if you're watching this and you're bummed that she won or you're happy that she lost or whatever, is that you understand that at the end of the day, most people want what's best for most people. It's just how they go about it is the stark contrast.
yeah.
So there's nothing she said there that I'm like, I disagree with. It's just when you get into what do those words mean? What does treat people with dignity mean?
Yeah.
Does that mean, hey, the folks that I come across that are on the left end of the aisle or are LGBTQ or whatever, that I treat them with respect, that I honor them, that I even have them over for dinner sometimes, that I, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what that means. But what we can't say is then you can't stand on the word of God that says, though I accept you and I love you as you are, this area of your life is out of line with what the scriptures teach.
Hello.
Right? Though I understand that the 1% of these unaliving of babies include potentially grape and incest.
Yeah.
And I understand how complicated that could be if there's a child involved, a child having a child. That doesn't mean that we need to allow this for the other 99% of situations. No, I think that's bad. And the sooner the rest of the country can agree on that that's bad, that doesn't mean that that's injustice for me to say, no, I don't think I don't think children inside of a human should be deleted at will because you feel like it, because you don't think it's a child. That's the issue that we run into is we can say good words, but they mean very different things.
Yeah.
She means something very different with the word justice than most people think justice.
Yeah.
And by the way, let me just concede this point. When I say justice, I also mean justice to the times when poor people with mental health issues, black people, whatever you want to call it, are mistreated by police. I think those people should get justice. I think police should be held accountable. Bad policing should be held accountable. Where I think we differ on the word justice is take stuff from people who have stuff and give it to other people so we can do good. That's actually not justice. That's actually injustice. Take stuff from people that got more and give it to people that have less because they need to pay their fair share. That's actually not justice.
Yeah.
That's the opposite of justice. So I think we're all saying the same things using very, very, very different definitions of these words.
Yeah.
Very different definitions of these words. And the more that people can understand that the intent is good versus the practice of these things. So are we pro big corporations? Well, here's the thing about pro big corporations. No, I am not for people. I'm not for Apple or any corporation having an offshore company that licenses to the American company and everything doesn't get taxed because of. No, I think that's wrong. I think that's wrong. However, did you know that 50% of the economy is actually small businesses with 500 or less employees? I don't want those people overtaxed.
Yeah. And
how about we lower the taxes for those people that are creating over 50% of the jobs in America?
And small business is not what you guys think it is. It's not the bakery with 3 employees.
No.
Small business meaning 500 and
Or less
under
employees.
So if you got 400 employees, you're doing hundreds of millions of dollars.
Yes.
Right? And that would be the person that a lot of people, especially on the left, would call is doing too much revenue.
Yes.
Too much money.
Making too much money.
Yep. That's still a small business.
Right.
That's employing 400 people. That's a lot.
It's a lot. So that's what I think people miss is that they're missing that we're saying we want actually the same thing. We're just going about it in a very different way, and we're using different definitions.
Yeah.
We're using definitions, and I think the Democrats not the Democrats because it's not Democrats because there are pro-life Democrats. I think there are people who just don't understand it, and so when we're saying, "Hey, we should protect women," we should protect women's rights. I'm talking about the women inside of the woman.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the unborn woman. I think we should protect her rights.
Yeah.
Why does she not get a shot at life? Why do you get to yeet her? Because it's an inconvenience to you. I think we should protect that woman. That makes me a bigot, and it makes me have a whatever, right? So I think that's the issue. Now in that, Trump is not a perfect candidate. He's gonna make mistakes, and I'll be the first to come on here and call those out, as I have been this whole time.
Yeah.
As I have been this whole time. As of yesterday, I referenced that the Central Park 5 was a bad look for him. Right? We just talked about the Puerto Rico joke and how it was poor timed and not good. So miss me with this like, oh, you're never. I am more critical of folks on my team or folks that I align with more. So Kamala mentioned her faith in God in that concession speech. And if you want to see the contrast between how Donald Trump and Kamala Harris have both talked about their faith, we'll have this over here. Pretty interesting stuff. All right, I'll see you over there. Peace.